He wants
Thank
to
you,
participate.
Stuart.
Thanks, Stuart.
Hey, Stuart.
Stuart's got a big boy job.
Hey, how you doing?
If you've not listened to our podcast, it's Theology on the Rocks. Christy and I are professors of theology.
Oh, it's the tissue box.
It's right there. Super impressive box of Kleenex that I
We're
did not steal
free
from-
gaming
Oh,
with some Tums.
some Tums. So last year we thought we really wanted to have someone that was on the show because there's not enough white guys at beer camp. So we thought that we needed to bring some in to the
We're to
experience.
diversify the
Thank you.
experience.
Glad to be the diversity hire.
And if you watch the video from last year, Tom brings me a water about halfway through and I just screech, "Thank you, Tom." And so when we were thinking about who to bring on, we were like, oh, that makes sense. Then, Tom is a friend. You guys probably know him, works for Orbis Books, but is also a theologian himself with Memphis Theological Seminary, if I remember in the brain.
Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of theology you do?
Yeah, so I'm a process theologian and eco-theologian. A lot of my research is based on process theology of the Eucharist and food and how the Eucharist is a meal, just like every other meal. And that's precisely why it's special. And that's precisely why it's important. So that's my like technical research stuff. My teaching, I teach Methodist studies and United Methodist Studies in a really ecumenically diverse context. I actually have more CME and AME students than UMC students, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I do ecclesiology, eco-theology, Black liberation theology, and process thought and food.
So he's gonna know more than us.
So if you have questions as the
I think it's-
Oh
captain,
God.
you can also just like throw them back in, but all we do here is in the most organized fashion. We start with the first one. We'll tell you what it is. And then we dip our chicken nuggets, which are veggie chicken nuggets, because I'm a vegetarian, so they're gonna play my way.
Stuart's gonna be doing it in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Stuart's got his real chicken
That's
and
way better than me.
we're gonna dip. And he's so much, I wish you guys.
He has
could see-
wings prepared.
Start recording.
It is, oh, it did.
Oh,
He has
sorry.
wings prepared and they're in little like Dixie cups.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Someday we'll get Stuart to come out here with us so that he can be live and in person.
Maybe. If he's lucky.
But
But y'all, if you don't follow Theology
Grab
on the
that.
Rocks, please do. It's Instagram is the best place to find us.
it's either one. We should-
And we're here too. We're one of, I'm not gonna say the only, because there are several, but we are one of the female-led podcasts that we have here,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Yeah, which is great. We need more of that, right?
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Cool.
So I'm talking.
You're-
Let's start. I'm a teacher. I'm filling.
I'm so like anxious.
Okay.
Cause this was, oh my God. Is it who was here last?
I was
year?
gonna say, he was here last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get
Okay,
to
well, you're in for a
compare. Did we do better this year? Did we do worse this year?
All right.
The flavors are different,
The flavors
flavors
are different.
So this
or
is,
so they claim.
this is season 23. So it's a new season, although it still has Da Bomb Beyond Insanity, which if you guys know, that is the one. It's the one that gets everybody. So it sits right here.
It's like rotten fish last year.
It's so gross.
And if you
I
want, by the way, if you want to try a sauce afterwards, as long, you're more than welcome for sure.
Yeah.
And you might want to try Da Bomb because that'll be the bragging rights.
Yeah. Trying to bomb is the one everybody wants. Okay.
Okay, so everything is measured, which we discovered halfway through after Christy screamed at me very rudely that we say Scoville the way Southerners say Louisville. It's Scoville. So it's, this first one is 1,800 Scoville, and it's the Hot One's own buffalo hot sauce. So this one shouldn't.
It shouldn't be
That
so
should be
horrible.
fine.
Should be fine, she said.
She says.
Okay, so this is it. And again, if y'all want to try these after, choose your poison. All right, so this is the first one. We just do a little thing here and then we dip. Moving on
Yep.
around.
And then
Do you only have water? That's all you have up there?
I have, well,
there's some, I think it's milk. I took it from the coffee station. Maybe it's heavy cream.
It's a milk of some kind.
this is not
Something has been.
Beer.
water or milk.
I have water and Tums.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick. All right, so we do the dip and it's all okay in the beginning. Things start well. This is where you
It's
see your,
okay in the beginning.
your favorite celebrities and they're like, I'm okay.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers to the first one.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
That's
That's
really
not
quite
bad.
good.
What's not bad? What's our first question?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if I can talk.
Christy gets so demanding. She's like the chillest person. But there's something about this thing that makes you want to finish real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's already. Okay, our first question is.
Already.
I already hate it.
Our first question is, okay, Christy, this is good for you. If you could put hot sauce on anything else, what
Nothing.
would it be? But you have to have it every day until you die.
I put on it.
That's not, I'm sorry, that's
That's
not
not
the
the
question.
answer.
That's not the question, because remember
Potatoes.
we said hell exists, but we still had to describe what it looks like.
What did you say?
Potatoes.
Potatoes?
Potatoes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah, at least you can change it up.
Yeah.
Potatoes are a good one.
That's real blank. That's, you're white guying up right now.
I mean, but that's the thing, is like then
You can
becomes a
change it up.
canvas for the hot sauce and you
Yeah.
can change it up. You can have different kinds of potatoes and.
No, I
You
know,
can
what-
have
I
this,
know what a
like-
potato is. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just not.
Potatoes,
it's-
au gratin, and some hot sauce.
Yo, why do you keep repeating potatoes to me?
Cause it works.
I know what they are. I lived in Ireland.
Okay.
It was a smart answer.
Well, do I get the answer?
If you
Oh, yeah.
like.
I thought we were all.
Not
potatoes.
potatoes. I would probably put it on like beefy things. Beef,
Beefy things.
beefy thing.
So you would
So
want to eat beef every day until you die.
I might.
I'm-
I'm a big fan of beef. If I was to, or, secondary, I would say my husband and I are trying to go more veggie, and there's a lot of veggie stuff that could be amped up with some hot sauce. Like, I love veggie stuff, but it needs a little something.
Yeah, some of the veggie burgers are a little bland, so you could put, but I would say that hot sauce in specific.
That's real
We're not-
good.
we're
I'd
not-
No, that was delicious.
I
That was good.
recommend that for just life.
That wasn't terrible.
All right, there, see, we're doing so good. Just remember this. Remember how well things are. How are you doing, Stuart? Do you want to speak
Thumbs
or
up.
at all, or are you just?
He's muted.
No one can hear what I say anyway.
or-
Oh, I don't
Can't hear
even
you
know.
anyway.
Exactly.
I think I'm muted. Nope, I don't know.
Well, we can't hear you, but you know what? You look really good. So, I love you so much. You can clearly hear me because he's got a look of like, oh, on his face. Okay, so this one is Sam's house. It's 6,000 Scoville, so we've gone from 1,800 to 6,000.
Oh, my nature. So
This is a new one this season, and it's
Good
got
call.
jalapenos, agave, and some cumin. Super smoky and slightly sweet.
Ooh, it does smell super smoky.
That last one was just buffalo, not to like.
Not to be
Kyle, you missed the hottest ones though. All right, what's it called? It's called
Sam-
Sam's the House. There's like a essay
Sam's the
with a
House.
comma house.
It's really, it smells really good. Like it's really smoky, like barbecue, like a smoky barbecue sauce.
That's done us wrong before though. Be careful with us smelling good stuff.
Yeah, but that really does smell good.
All
Okay.
right,
Tom,
Ready?
pick a picture
Let's do
for
it.
the Question this time.
Tom, pick a question.
Just want it.
Tom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd eat that on a lot of stuff. That's real good.
We're
That's
going-
good.
Mm.
I like that
Oh.
one.
No.
That's like,
No, that's bad theology. We're going on a journey.
That's bad theology.
That's bad theology.
that's a good one. I
Can't
like
wait till
that
we
one.
get to like number 6 over there or something. All
Bomb.
right, this question. What advice do you have for someone with an eating disorder who struggles with the Eucharist?
Mm,
Oh, that's for you, I
That's a
guess.
really
Ooh,
good question.
Yeah, I think that one is for me. So that's a great question. The Eucharist is supposed to be a meal of life. And, if eating and your relationship with eating, doesn't contribute to abundant life, that's not on you. There's community aspects to that a lot. There is therapy that can help work through that. The forcing someone to go to the Eucharist table if they have an eating disorder or a disordered relationship with eating, you're rendering the sacrament inefficacious by forcing someone who does not experience the meal as life-giving to come to the meal and gaslight them into telling them it's life-giving.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that we need to do as a church to actually be aware of our relationships with food and aware of each other's relationships with food. A lot of us actually have, I would say, really disordered relationships with food, whether they're recognized as clinical eating disorders or not. And that's because we live in a system, an economic and agribusiness system that depends on us not being in right relationship with the creatures we kill and eat, and not being in right relationship with the people we eat with at tables. And so one of the things I would say, if you're struggling with disordered eating and the Eucharist is not a life-giving experience for you, that's not a permanent thing. Like, that's not something to despair. And if you want the Eucharist to become a life-giving thing, there are a lot of really good resources out there, but it's also never just on the person who has a disordered relationship there. The Eucharist is a communal experience. We are a body, and if part of our body is intentionally excluded because of our eating practices, then, as Paul would say, we're eating damnation upon ourselves.
All right.
I'm gonna, yeah,
Preach that
preach
good-
that,
preach
that,
that good
preach that good
word.
word, because that was
I
perfect.
don't think
Thank
we
you.
have anything to add.
I have
I
nothing to add
just
to that. Yeah,
I
thank
just
you.
think that I didn't realize that we didn't have grape juice instead of wine until I left the Baptist church. I just thought that was what it was. It was always grape juice.
It was one of my favorite experiences at AAR, which is our big American Academy of Religion conference, was when a paper about a commune in Tennessee also led the Eucharist for us, and it was with orange marmalade sandwiches and grape juice, and they played the banjo while we did it. So I'm a big fan of kind of creative Eucharist experiences. All right, Leah.
This is
You've got lots about the
19,000 Scoville.
We just went from 6 to 19. Okay.
6,000 to 19,000. First it's savory, then it's sweet. This is another newcomer this year. It's got habanero peppers, savory garlic, apple cider vinegar, and ginger.
It smells like a Thai
It does-
chili food.
It does have that.
All right,
Thai chili.
Yeah.
let's get it.
All right.
I mean, y'all are,
It is called Funky's
Funky's
Hot Sauce
Hot-
Factory.
whatever.
Garlic habanero.
That last one, by the way, has an aftertaste.
Nope.
I am not.
No, we've turned the corner. There was a quick one. No.
Mm.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's where it starts,
I was burning.
right there.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Why are you okay?
It's really good.
Tom?
It stings, but it's really good.
It stings.
What?
It stings.
It does sting and it's not stopped stinging. I had to put my hand up. I'm stopping it.
No, it said it's sweet, right?
What does it taste like?
Burning.
Okay, so if you take
The garlic is,
Real garlicky.
the
and
garlic,
the garlic's very heavy on
the
it.
garlic is really heavy, and that's not pleasant.
It's like raw garlic.
Yeah, it's like raw
All
garlic.
garlic, yeah.
It's like raw.
You
It's that
can
like
smell it.
yeah, it's that raw garlic burn.
I
It's-
can't
That's
feel my
not
tongue.
pleasant.
It's still going,
I can't.
still going.
But there is a fruitiness to it though that's really nice.
Yeah.
What is your typical writing process?
Oh,
You wrote that one.
I do.
Somebody, Myron did.
right.
Um,
What's your typical writing?
What's my typical writing
Well,
process?
if you're here, I typically get an idea. I do reverse, which by the way, if you're doing a PhD, right, I would not recommend this process at all. But I'm
I don't think
I'm
that you
15
should follow
years in.
me in any way in our writing process.
15 years in now, so I'll get an idea and then I go and try to prove that the idea that was in my head was right.
Oh,
Oh,
the
so
thing-
I thought, I bet there's bad theology in the world. I'll go find people who also think so. Come to find out there was quite a few people. And
Well-
I also do qualitative research. My next
Yeah.
project is qualitative, which means I just find a bunch of people who want to hang out with me for a really long period of time.
And answer
And
questions.
answer questions.
Answer a lot of questions.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When I first started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna read this theologian and that theologian, and oh my God, I'm gonna get so inspired, and then I'm gonna write something. And now I'm just like, it's 4 books in. I don't.
My process is to just word vomit
Mhm.
onto first a person. So I find a person and I make them listen to everything that's in my head in no coherent fashion. And then I word vomit onto the page. And then I have to go back and delete the whole thing and start over again. And it takes so much longer than it should. And so again, I don't think either of us are good models
I
for
mean,
writing
I think I
process.
write really good books.
But
so
Leah writes really good books.
Thank you. I got a
I-
new one coming out.
I found mine to be enjoyable personally.
Yeah.
So much.
I know.
know.
Well, y'all are all like, it tastes like fruit.
Leah's heavy-handed with this hot sauce.
It tastes like fruit. It's so it's just
Yeah.
on the tip of the
It
tongue.
Is
Well, let's see.
numbing. But I do like my supervisor told me once to like have like a bulletin board and write all of your ideas so you can look at it. And so I do use a whiteboard sometimes and like put everything up there and then you can just kind of sit and like meditate with your ideas.
So that was how I wrote in seminary.
Mhm.
Yeah. same.
And like our big writing project in my MDiv program was called the Credo. And that was how I did my Credo. Like I each chapter was written up on a wall
Yeah.
somewhere, or I kid you not, on the windows of my apartment,
Mm.
Yeah.
because beautiful.
I was like, it's a beautiful mind.
Beautiful mind is inspiring, but you know what's actually a dry erase board? A window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
and-
I should say too, but I don't just like come up with something. I come up with something by talking to you
Yeah. and
or
well, this is-
talking to
this is
people. Like,
really
it's
good.
not just like I
You
come up
should-
with the divine and
Yeah, you should
inspired
find people that you
thing.
can bounce your ideas off of and who will read it later, because at some point you think that your writing has become incoherent and also that you've like written nothing of substance and somebody else
yeah.
needs to read it and
Yeah.
and say like, no, you've just been in this too much.
Or as an editor, no, you've been in this too much, or no, this actually is incoherent.
Right, yeah.
Like,
no, that's
you actually do
helpful.
need to go back and.
Somebody,
like,
yeah,
But.
but you have to have somebody you trust.
Yeah,
to
but
do
you have to have
that.
somebody you trust, and
Yeah.
you have to, one of the things I learned in writing my dissertation, the big casting out doesn't work because it's just too long. But I would read a ton and there would be one sentence in something and that's what sparked it. And then I would just go until I ran out of the energy from that one sentence. And then I'd get back in and test those ideas with the reader. As an editor, one of the things that I love to do with authors is be that sounding board for ideas, even if I don't end up being their editor. Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
a theological friend.
You
that-
need a
that will-
theological friend or a
Christy
writing
reads
friend.
all my stuff. I read all her stuff, and
Yeah.
then there's stuff I don't know because she does literature, and I don't do that.
And then there's stuff that she does that I'm like, I learned so many things.
Yeah, but then
Also
this-
though,
check
know
the
when
the-
to stop reading.
yeah,
Like
oh, yeah.
outside sources, because you can start to just like, now I have to read too much stuff and then it just never ends. So you have to have like a cutoff.
Yeah, stop reading.
Just stop.
Just stop. It's gonna mess up stuff.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah,
so this is called
thank you for keeping us on
Los
track.
Calientes Verde. She says in Southern. 36,000 Scoville. The undisputed sauce of the summer. Fans' favorite hot ones. It returns. So apparently it was on here before. It's tomatillo, apricot, and cumin.
it smells like tomatillas and field peas.
What a field pea.
It does, like it has like a really earthy smell.
Oh. Oh, that's okay. That one
How
doesn't
is that
hurt.
one hotter than the one
The last
before it?
one was bad.
I think the
last
garlic,
one
I
was
think the
so
garlic in the last one was
That
what
last one
made
was
that
so
bad.
bad. That one's not bad.
Because that one's actually, that was actually really good.
This
It
is,
does not
feel
feel
like
very
the
hot.
dark.
This
these
could
are.
be-
This is like the dark thing cap.
I don't know,
that's
the
in
neon
picture.
red right there is kind of scaring me.
Okay,
This
so the,
could be good on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have this on taco.
what bad theology, you'd have it on a potato, Tom.
What?
What bad theology are you currently in recovery from? Toward what is the recovery headed? Healing or what's emerging? So one of the I wrote a book called Bad Theology. Our friend Kevin Garcia also wrote a book called Bad Theology Kills. And then we wrote it at similar-ish times without talking to each other. And we were on a podcast together where we talked about it. And it was awesome because it was just that great thing of like, one thing in academics is people tell you that you have to like beat people and and it was great to have him and I and just sharing because you don't actually, I think it's I'm going to gender this a little bit. Females in academics, they're like, we have this tiny little piece and we all have to fight for the piece. When actually, we don't really have to do that. Like we can share. And it was such a great thing because he wrote about different things than me. Anyway, we wrote about bad theology. And then I have a new book, Bad Theology and COVID, that's coming out. But it's just about how theology can be used in damaging ways. So it's a lot of stuff about theology beer camp. So what bad theology are you currently in recovery from? I've been having a lot of, now keep in mind, 15 years in at this stage. I used to work with Tripp at Edinburgh University. I was his boss. I'm having a lot of imposter syndrome recently. I know. It's weird though, because I'm doing the books and people are like, oh, you're doing the thing. And I come here and people are like, oh, hey, Leah. But it is weird because at some point in your career, I think it's kind of when you hit the middle. Like in the start, you're really enthusiastic and you're like, I'm gonna meet everyone and do everything. And at the end, you're like, I'm out. Like it if you like it, don't you? But the middle part, people don't talk about so much. And I think that middle part, I'm sort of like, okay, I've got this platform. What am I gonna do now?
I think kind of similarly, it's that there's a theology that you get when you're like growing up in certain circles that if you do everything right, you're gonna get rewarded in really specific ways, like financially, or like you're gonna have the white picket fence life or whatever. And I think especially I think for a lot of us in our generation, like that's not coming true, no matter what we've done.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's that like what did I do wrong, or is there something that I've messed up or has gotten mad at me that creeps in, even though you know that that's not accurate.
We're doing all the things, and if you guys
Yeah.
are academics, you'll know there's the things, right?
You're doing all the
We
things
did the
right, or you're
things.
doing all the like Christian things right.
Yeah.
Or like what, and it still creeps
And
in.
you
'cause it's
deconstruct
like,
it, but then you're like, what do I reconstruct?
Yeah.
It's kind of what this question's asking is you deconstruct, but then what do you create out of that? And it's like, I think that's harder in many ways. For me personally, I'm speaking for no one else. The deconstruction was easier than the reconstruction.
Yeah.
For me. Because it's sort of like, okay, I have my whole new world now. What does it look like?
Mhm.
Ooh.
Well, and also to
Hello.
not take away from the hard work that you've done, and say like, I still think that all these things I did were good things to do, but like they, not because they came with rewards that I thought I was supposed to get.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff is not healthy.
And I wouldn't say recovery, but I will say a lot of, and I write more about politics and Christy writes more about literature. There's a lot of politics stuff that's really pissing me off right now.
Yeah.
You can ask me about it later. Or you can read the book. It's in there. A lot of bad theology.
I think the competitiveness actually is really helpful. I grew up in liberal mainline Methodism with liberal mainline pastor parents. I'm a double PK.
Ooh, bless your heart.
Hey, it either cancels it out or makes you twice as bad. And so I don't have a ton of the like bad theology baggage the way that your book describes bad theology, but the competitiveness, the achiever, the paper chaser, I've got bad, and I've been rewarded, and it's because I've been rewarded in those spaces. And one of the things that I've really had to wrestle with and unpack and deal with in the last few years is getting treated like shit by administrators in theological education who claimed to have your best interest out for you when you were like wanting all the paper. And then once you actually were like there, it really ended up not being what the dream you thought you were chasing was. And so learning to find enoughness in the work that I do, and in especially like as a Methodist pastor, we've got a really unrealistic image sometimes that we all have to be John Wesley. And we always have to be on the go because one of our ordination vows is to never trifle away time and to always be
Oh my
employed.
gosh.
Um,
I have not met.
and,
Trifle all of that
Cheers.
time away.
and, and so one
To
of,
the disciples.
and so there's like this really, there's this really rough, like if you're not constantly working and working at the highest level
Oh my gosh.
and doing everything at the highest level, then it's not just that you've messed up, it's that there's actually a deficiency in your theological anthropology.
Yeah.
Yeah, academics
Right.
has a midlife crisis. I feel like all of us have described a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And
So it is-
statistically, we're at midlife. I mean, you know,
I am,
statistically.
I don't know what age you
do
think I am.
I'm wearing Converse all stars. My hair is bleached blonde. I don't know what you're.
Thomas. Okay.
Don't give away all.
All
of our
right,
secrets. Okay.
Tom, ask us our next question. Oh, tell us what we're eating.
Yeah, what are we eating? I saw
Christy-
queso.
Christy, you are dictating like a.
Is there cheese in this?
Okay, well, it's
There's
vegan.
not.
There's not cheese in this?
It's
Oh,
vegan queso sauce.
Oh,
Vegan queso sauce?
hey, let's, okay,
dude.
create a hot sauce that mimics the spicy.
Umami.
Umami.
I don't know. My southern child in my head said Unimami. Goodness of queso without the cheese. After 3 years of work, we think he perfected it.
I don't.
I mean, no offense. Let's see.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
What's the number?
Oh, what's the number?
what's the number?
52,000 Scoville. That smells so bad.
Oh,
Oh, no.
No. No. It's not because it's hot.
It is hot
It's 'cause
though.
it-
It is
no, it's
hot.
It's hot, but it
I feel
tastes
like I'm
so
getting, my
bad.
face is turning red.
No,
No,
he
it
did
is.
not get
It's
it.
turning red.
After 3 years of work, we think he did.
you failed.
I need to wash that out.
So gross. Oh, that's
Tom,
disgusting.
take a drink, you know, we've had it.
Ugh,
In my
that
nostrils.
tastes so bad. It's hot. Look, it's hot. I'm not gonna say it's not hot, but the flavor of it's unappealing.
It's the cheese that you get on Doritos.
Doritos.
It's like Doritos nacho cheese. That's fake.
Yeah, it's like
Cheese.
super fake. Yeah.
Is it in your noses? I
Yes.
like I can smell it in
Trying to move
in this
it.
nostril.
I feel like I keep trying to escape to the left. So I'm trying to move back in frame.
We all trying to escape to.
I know, but it's just because y'all are like, oh, good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
You should be an editor.
I get,
I hate
my
that.
wife
It's
says I
gonna be
get,
crazy.
my wife says I get a good joke once every like 3 years. So I just used it.
Going to.
I want a different taste in my mouth
You're
soon.
turning your shades
What
red
did you
right now.
first want to be when you grew up?
Oh.
And do you wish you had done it?
Yes.
I do.
Christine and I both were like, yes. A veterinarian would not have led me to this path.
No hot sauce for veterinarians.
I wanted to be a first grade teacher, and if you've met me for more than 5 minutes, you would know that was not the path for me. Yeah.
I didn't.
Specifically first grade.
Very specifically first grade.
Did you have like a great first grade
I
teacher?
did. I really liked
Okay.
her, and I just decided that was my
Christy, that
path
would've
in
been
life.
so
I
funny.
know I'm not meant to be around children that much.
That much was an add-on.
But I wouldn't be eating this. So
What about you, Tom? Veterinarian,
ma-
teacher?
Major League Baseball player.
Oh, dang.
And no, I would not rather be doing that. Though, like the money is
I was
good
gonna
after
say.
you hit the 5-year arbitration amount. But you know, it's so hard and it's so rare. And I had a friend who played for the Oakland A's for a few years, and
Humble brag.
it was really, really hard. Like the spotlight he was in.
What was his name, Tom? What was his ERA?
Bruce Maxwell was his name. He was the catcher who kneeled for the national anthem for the Oakland A's. And like the life, like he didn't get to play the game he loved.
yeah.
Like it
Yeah, but
at some point it just,
I think we came full circle to our question about the midlife crisis. Maybe we are playing the game we love.
right.
Okay.
What are we eating this time?
Okay, Tom, I've got to get real close to you, and I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Stuart's right there. He's watching. It's fine. Okay, so.
Watching this.
He's watching. You can't do anything, you're in Charlotte. Okay,
Ooh, this smells real good.
Well,
Unlike the last one.
bourbon maple reaper.
Oh, no.
73,000 Scoville. 73,000. When it comes to the flavors in the sauce, the name says it all. So bourbon, maple, and reaping, I guess. Slow building heat from the Carolina Reaper. Go Carolina. I actually love Georgia more, but I live in Carolina. Sorry. Western Carolina, we love you. Okay. Carolina Reaper peppers will have you salivating. Yes, I'm dying. Already. I'm still dying from the last.
It smells very bourbon maple.
Okay, here we go.
Are we
Like,
ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
And-
not
and
happy about that.
Dipping. Oh no.
No.
Oh no, oh no, it got my cheek.
No. It's so hot. I'm dying. I can't feel my
I
tongue.
Oh. It actually comes
No.
back. It
No.
comes back.
no, it's really good. That's way better than the cheese one.
I can't feel my tongue.
Is this what Wesley meant by the burning in your stomach? Then he had like
His heart was strange.
his heart was strangely warmed, which
Yeah.
gets me every
I have a really good question. Is purgatory real or made up?
Well, given that we're in the middle of this limbo,
This is hurt.
I mean, purgatory is made up in the sense that like Christian doctrine is made up.
Yeah, theology is a social construct. So yes. Moving on. Just kidding.
Is
Um,
purgatory real in the sense that the Vatican holds it as like an actual place now? No.
Yes.
The Vatican abandoned that a while ago.
Tom, you're holding this ship together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. The people want to know about purgatory.
Screaming inside.
Theologically, I think purgatory,
This is
though.
the Methodist that just keeps going.
Theologically, though, I think
Keeps going.
purgatory, like for Protestants, we don't need it, right?
Why do they need it? We don't need it.
They don't need it either.
No, why do they want it? And we don't want it.
Oh, that was where you were purged, right? That you had the chance for purgation of your sin
What in the
before
world?
final sanctification. But we
But we need that too, don't we?
you can have that in real life. Why have that in some like shadowy place?
Well, what if
after
I
you
die right now from this chicken nugget? I need to be purged.
God
I
has
need
loved you,
someone
even
to
you
cut
right now.
my tongue out of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
Next,
No, Tom, no.
What?
do you want me to keep talking about purgatory?
No.
I'll keep talking. I'll talk. I think theology is.
I actually really like that. It's like a forbidden heart, like a
There's always
sacred
one.
heart of Jesus.
This
There's
is very
always
cool.
one. But I think theology is a social construct. What I mean by that is I think we've created systems because we like systems, we're humans. Does it mean that the Bible doesn't say stuff? Does it mean spirituality doesn't exist? It just means that we have constructed certain systems that work for certain places in time. I think you have to talk really fast because like when the air hits, it comes back. I think for Catholics, I think a lot of the stuff they constructed, well, whatever Protestants do, is about making us feel better about this life we have to live in a way. And so a lot of theological constructs, Protestant and Catholic, have to do with us feeling a little bit better about this life. And I think purgatory is actually honestly a nice little thought, like that you may be really screwed up or whatever, and like you didn't have time to get yourself right, and there's a place where you can work through that. Oh God, I'm done.
The sinuses have opened.
I've never talked so fast in my life. This goes against all of Georgia to talk this fast. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think, is it real?
I also think that
Yeah, I think it.
when
could
we
be
look
real.
historically, like you're dealing with a lot of different kinds of mortality questions and like
Hmm.
people who are dying before they're able
Right.
to choose things. And so
Right.
it just makes sense
Oh God, I just.
Well, which is I think a really helpful
historically.
instead of the is it real or not question is how's it useful,
Yeah.
right? Like what's the actual usefulness of a
It's a
theological
practical
position?
theologian.
God,
Or
you started it
pragmatic.
again.
Theology.
It's the
This
same.
one is called the forbidden
not.
fruit.
Oh, thank you. It's
Sorry,
it's
Ben.
practical. But
Thank you.
also, with theology
Yeah.
pragmatic, it's practical. But also, I will say
Thank you.
too, is that, this is the second time I brought up that I worked at a children's hospital. I was a chaplain. And actually having purgatory at a children's hospital, y'all will just keep talking, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Is that,
I don't care what you're saying.
Teacher, I do this all the time. Like if kids are talking, I'll be like, y'all just keep on. I mean, you're paying me, so it's fine. I do think it was helpful to have that idea at the hospital because there was this idea that like, these are like kids, you know, these are babies. And even people who weren't Catholic, I found were drawn to the idea of purgatory in the sense of like, you know, yes, there's an innocence there, of course, but like, there's also this idea that, you know, there isn't this.
This isn't the last death.
This isn't the last word. Yeah. You know, and that was nice for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has,
Did you come back?
this has no smell.
Did you write your dissertations while I was talking
Yep.
about hell?
Yeah.
Or-
This
We
is
did.
called the forbidden fruit.
Okay.
You may recognize this from season 21 is back with super pepper forward sauce. That's been a year in the making.
It's gonna help me.
Super
had-
pepper forward that you can't smell.
He's
You need
had
more
his
than that.
special
Smells like Tabasco.
You think
Can
it
you
smells like
smell it?
Tabasco?
Oh, you already
Just
have-
Tabasco.
you
That's
need
all
more.
I smell.
more.
You do.
It looks like sweet and sour sauce from the Chinese restaurant.
It's
It does.
it's 124,000.
Where are you from originally?
Me?
Yeah,
North Alabama.
you said sweet and sour.
Every once in a while.
It comes through. It's okay. It's just, we're in a-
Tiredness and alcohol.
We're in a therapeutic group together. Southerners dealing with our accents. Okay. Oh, wait, we're supposed to.
You're already coughing? You've not even
No,
eaten
it's
it.
still from the
Yeah.
last one. It's
The
It's
la- the
getting
burp-
weird now.
The
it's-
bourbon
I
was
can't
really
feel
good.
my tongue.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, that was a mistake.
There's the
I
Tabasco.
did. Yeah.
There's the Tabasco.
Oh,
It's like cayenne and vinegar.
Pepper forward is the right
Yeah.
answer.
I have a friend who always talks about disassociating. I think that's what I'm doing right now.
Say you good?
No, I'm not good, bro. I'm not good, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's recorded.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not. No, we're not good. Did you say how many Scoville? it was?
124,000.
I'm mad at you.
It was your idea.
Last year got this one. Who said yes to this year?
I did. Y'all asked me and I said yes.
Okay.
Here it is again. Oh, I'm
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. What does it feel like? It feels bad. It feels bad.
It's the bomb test.
Oh no, I gotta bring up the water. I can't keep drinking the seltzer. I'm gonna pass out. Not that that's what that is. Oh,
so painful.
you were supposed to love and protect me.
Oh, I'm not laughing at you.
Didn't help. This is sickness.
He's laughing at me.
No, he's not. No. 12 years down the road, I know. Mm.
Why are you fine?
And it was
Cause he's
hot.
dead inside.
I-
We like, oh wait, where's the tissues? Why are you stealing them all? Those are not, I don't wanna steal your tissues. Okay, okay. Women helping women.
Thank you for the more dishes.
Okay. What is it? What does it feel like? Really? I did. I showed everybody.
It's your own damn fault.
Oh,
You want some milk? Maybe,
no, I hate milk. You know this.
Some
What?
baby milk.
maybe milk?
It's like creamer. You're drinking creamer.
Mhm.
What does it feel like as a woman and Tom?
No, seriously, it's in
It
parentheses.
is in
And Tom.
To see people paying so much attention to people, in parentheses, white men, getting kicked out of churches when it's not always been a safe space for women or people of the LGBT community. Oh, yeah.
Why does this exist?
Okay, so it's for the question. All right, I've recovered.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will say I've seen a lot of stuff recently about people. I think it was who was it that recently got booted out?
Tom Ward
Tom
got
Ward.
kicked out of Church
Yeah.
of Nazarene.
There you go. I don't love that. It's not like I'm like, oh, you know, but at the same time, I'm like, that must hurt, and I understand how it hurts. And I think part of it is maybe I'd love to see more writings and advertisements for stuff that like Southern Baptist women still can't be ministers. We didn't get kicked out. We never got let in. Well, we did get kicked out technically.
I think that,
So it's like one of those things where it's like, I feel bad for that, but I also would love, and you can't acknowledge everyone. This isn't like I need to list all of the people who've been oppressed in life, but it's like I would like to acknowledge that like I had to leave the Baptist church because I couldn't be a reverend. And just completely leave my historic denomination that I loved very much. And there's no one like giving me a cheer or a band thing or putting it on Facebook or whatever. And I don't care about that. I don't need that. But it would be good if we were able to acknowledge that like there are other spheres where this is still happening and it sucks. Because you shouldn't be can you imagine even the phrase when I say kicking people out of a church?
Yeah.
Like
I think that you have also experienced, because Leah's book that she's gonna be starting is on
conversion
I'm sorry,
therapy.
it's on conversion therapy
Yeah.
and the harms of it, and she's
Yeah.
having a hard time finding some, she has a book contract, but there's been some issues with payment in terms of either grants or
Everybody wants to grant
jobs.
fund it.
And so like
And
It
it's a
is-
book on crack. It's coming out either way. It's just that I'm
Yeah.
trying to get some funding and some other stuff to try to be able to go out and meet people in person
There's-
as opposed to Zoom.
there's a kind of like, this is the current major thing to be the scare, everybody's scared of it. You know, and that's
Which means we're
stupid.
running towards it with
Well,
hands
that's
wide
true.
open. But I do, so that's what I think. I think it sucks for people. I hate that for Tom. I hate, because good guy, wonderful theologian. It's just like, it sucks for a lot of people all the time.
Sucks.
And,
sucks.
and you don't have to list every single person all the time. This doesn't have to be like I had a terrible job interview one time where someone was like, oh, you talk about the LGBT, blah, 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 and then just started listing like letters. And I was like, no, we're going to stop right there. I said, it's not that you don't, you can pick one. I don't care. But, you know, just like focus in on a group that is not being served in the way that they should be served by the church and talk about them. That's fine. But just know that it's a wide range of people that are. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. It's just
I
like
think,
every time I inhale, it's a very serious topic. I take it very seriously. It's just.
I think that too, it's something that, like Leah said, we both were in spaces where we weren't necessarily welcome. I had students who wouldn't take my class because I was a woman. And I had bosses who wouldn't support me in light of all that. Like we've had that. There's just a lot of work still to be done. And I think I come back to I don't know if you all were at it or if it got recorded, I don't know, but we did the Theopoetics earlier this morning. And I asked Catherine Keller and Ilya, Delio, thank you.
That's a great name.
I know.
Truly.
What should we do? And it was Ilya said, like, we need to come together and we need to be together and just whatever you do well and focus on that, but don't feel like you have to do everything. And I think that's really helpful in this conversation too, is like we have to all work together to make spaces more welcoming and helpful and good. And we have to do it in the ways that we're supposed to do it and not try to do other people's work for them.
And not to perform like, you know,
Yeah.
Christy and I have our wardrobe full of jackets. Why do we
Mhm.
wear those?
I don't like blazers.
We wear blazers all the time, but it's
Right.
a performance in a way. And
Yeah.
so, but it's making space for everyone. Yeah. I agree.
And then do what you can do to help people. And
100%.
don't eat this.
Don't do that.
Disgusting
Well, no, and now we're at,
hot sauce. And this is the worst one. And it tastes like beet.
Don't.
hey Stuart, how
Do
are you
this.
doing?
Fine, except for what's coming.
Yeah. We're all in.
This is the same one as it was last time we did it. And it's not, they've not changed the recipe. And I'm sorry, Tom, it sucks.
I get to pick the bomb question.
The bomb is the famous one that everybody hates. And for
Thanks,
good
Tom.
reason.
Yep.
I don't understand
It
why we have to
tasted
have
like-
so much.
It tasted like rotten fish last year.
It was gross.
Read the question first before you eat it, because you might not want to talk afterwards.
All right. Yeah. Let me pick the question. And
And
then.
then
Sit.
So the Scoville on the DeBomb is
It
hundred and
smells terrible.
35,600 Scoville.
that is not descriptive.
We only carry hot sauces with natural pepper heat. Who cares? Whatever. We teamed up. Okay, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing of interest there.
It
The
tastes
important
like
thing
that.
is the one on
It
the show is
tastes like that.
different.
It was a bunch of, they're saying they did wonderfully. Great. That's fine.
Well,
Um,
the one on the show is different because they add artificial pepper
Okay, well,
extract
now
to make
it's
it
all
hotter.
all natural destruction. That's what it said. So you die, but you die with like a clean stomach, not really, but.
I mean, this will clean you out.
Okay, hell yeah.
Which one was it? You need help? That one.
That one. It's that one. You've not dipped in that one.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm here, I'm ready.
All right.
Tom's Methodisting all over us. Right now.
True or false? Wesley's take on perfection was naive, unscientific, and wrong. Follow up. Explain why false is correct.
Okay, we're gonna go, no. This was like a question about Blink-182. You can answer this question, but we're gonna pick another one because I know this was probably yours. And he said it's a very Wesley specific. Christy and I are not from the Wesleyan tradition, so we will not be.
How would you go about eliminating oppressive aspects of theology and especially religious practices?
Wow.
DeBomb?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Wait your mess.
Oh, God, that's so bad.
It's disgusting.
I defend my question.
And it'll creep on you as well.
I'll defend Wesley. God, it tastes so bad.
And it keeps coming back at you.
There's no redemption in this hot sauce.
Okay, that's the first one that's actually hot, and it also tastes bad.
Oh my
It's not
God.
stopping.
Ew.
Leah, you're off camera.
Not stopping.
So. This is the most evil. It's back. It's moved to the back.
Oh my God, we're on Colorado.
Oh, God, that's so bad.
It's the most evil thing to have to eat in the world and then have to like answer things.
I need to walk.
God. Why?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But I want to say,
Give me more water. It's like last year.
I want to say that this answer for me is the same thing I just said. Community,
They're like, where's Leah?
do what you can do.
Come here.
Like,
How did it's not even hot?
like bring your friends
Ugh.
to you and
Bring your friends
water and
I had a short end that made it worse. Creamy. Creamer.
I don't know if it helps.
Oh, it's warm.
I'm really trying to work my way through this.
I'll focus on this one later.
Y'all, somebody asked
I'm
if
doing
Leah,
so liquid.
if Leah and I would win in a fight, like which one of us would win in a fight. And right now is the only time I could say me. Just look at her, she's crying. This is my only shot. Tom's crying.
Oh, I've been crying for a while. I don't want to like start it back up because it's.
I know. You have to
Oh,
breathe.
God. You know,
Oh,
chaperone
you're
sings,
gonna
"Oh
try
God, what have
one.
you done?"
You're gonna try one, try that one.
What have you done?
People outside.
You too can save a life.
You can save us. I did it.
Ugh. Okay, so go about eliminating oppressive aspects of theology and especially religious practices. I don't want to be that theologian. I really don't, but I'm going to be that theologian. That's far too broad because we're not going to eliminate them all.
Okay.
And
Pick another one.
I don't think,
Cats or dogs? Cats or dogs?
no, and I don't think,
We got three now.
I don't think we should have eliminating all of them as the goal. I think we should have eliminating one that's in front of you as the goal.
I like that. That's good. Find the thing that's there. You don't have to go after you don't have to be a social warrior for everything.
Because
You can be.
one of the things
Oh,
that,
I'm gonna barf.
one of the things that,
I don't wanna barf.
of all of the things that Paul.
Ryder,
Hurry.
Ryder, I appreciate it. Thank you. You're next.
You're next year, bud. You do this once, you get put in the middle. Of all the things that Paul said that have been woefully used to hurt people, one of the things that he said that's never been used to hurt people
breeze back here.
is that we're part of a body. And we're gifted differently and we're called to different functions in the body. And that means that while there's a larger scope that we're a part of, right? It's never just up to us. And what we contribute matters for the body, right? I think ecologically, what we contribute as humans matters in our niche, right? It matters in our local community. And what other local communities do matters in their local community. And when a bunch of local communities are doing well together, then you have a bigger bioregion that's doing well together. One of the really interesting theological things I think's happened in the last 15, 20 years is called watershed discipleship. And it's thinking about your relationship with each other in terms of the watershed you live in. So who are you connected to is not by interstates, right? Who you're connected to is by where the stream that goes by your house, whose house does it go to next?
That's very
Because
smart.
your
job.
output into the stream gets to them next. So if you foul it up, then they've got to work on their piece of the stream and on mitigating your piece of the stream. But if you work, then they can do their work in their spot. So all of that is to say, I think how we go about eliminating oppressive aspects, and especially religious practices, is you focus on where you're gifted, where your community is called, and you focus on oppression in your context. All theology is contextual. All religious practice is contextual because all life is contextually lived. So focus there. And as we do that, we then build the otherwise world that we've been called to
I'm
build.
glad you're here, Tom.
I'm trying. I am trying, but
My mouth
yeah,
is throbbing.
yeah.
Glad you're
It's
here.
throbbing in a way that like, yeah.
Ugh.
It doesn't
I also
stop.
wanna
Like,
say-
this whole thing is still going.
I also want to say theological education goes a long way. So
Yeah.
study theology and learn it and do it well. And who would win in a cage match between Jesus, Paul, and John? Is obviously Jesus. I mean,
No, Jesus is a pacifist. He's not gonna
Jesus
win.
flipped tables.
That's the only
Yeah,
thing
but
he
not
did.
at Paul or John.
Not at Paul or John.
I'm going John.
I'm going John on this one.
Like,
Paul was old and had a thorn in the flesh.
Which John though?
I was thinking-
John the Baptist?
Are we talking John Revelation?
Just John the Baptist wins all of them.
Yeah, John.
Revelation,
Baptist. I picked John the Baptist.
Revelation John
I'm still
could
going.
probably beat Paul, but would
John's gonna
then
lose
defer
any
to Jesus. But then beloved disciple John,
Was 12.
well, yeah,
Okay,
all of them were.
But like,
I'm going Revelation, John.
I'll
I'm
go
going-
Revelation John.
I'm going John the Baptist.
Okay.
I go, so we agree, John.
So should we do the three Johns then? Beloved disciple John, Baptist John, and Revelation John?
Baptist John
Then
wins.
Baptist John, I think, would win that.
John, Baptist John's gonna win. He
Okay.
didn't eat locusts.
All right.
All right, he didn't eat locusts. Well, so I'll say, maybe with my
What's
theology. bro.
next? You're putting your Kleenex on our sauce list.
You were so nice last year, Tom, and now you're just like.
I want this over.
It's,
Oh, God. Okay,
oh, I burped. Oh, I burped.
Don't do that.
So the bomb was 135,600 Scoville units. Next is chili monoloco,
Don't wanna do anymore.
680,000 Scoville units. We have just gone from 135,600 to 680.
Y'all are.
Level up, baby.
I hate everything.
Ace.
I wanna barf.
Chili Monoloco has a crazy fun crew down in Costa Rica.
I hate them.
Screw them.
They-
Almost said something they're like.
Comes up with secret chili
Fuck
concoctions.
themselves.
That's
In this,
insane.
in this secret mix of super hot peppers, lemon and vinegar,
No.
Why?
this sauce is simple and hot.
Does this
You'll
make
be
sense
able to
you
tell
as
by
a
the
culinary
smell.
expert?
This packs a punch.
Oh, good. Excited.
Hey,
I
after
can-
this
I
one,
would-
only one more.
Oh, I
no.
know,
We
but
can
I'm
do
gonna
it.
give the bomb away. It smells.
But you
So-
have, how are you gonna get your?
How are you
hot
gonna
sauce?
get your hot sauce?
Guys, I'm a practical theologian. I will figure it out. Also, there is a plate right there.
I know.
Forgot which one is that one.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. There is a plate right there.
you get to
Where
do
there
this
is a-
next year.
Where there's a
I know
man and
that-
a weed, there is a
I know that
way.
in bad theology, you make fun of people who define practical theology
I do
as a
that.
job, but you're sure doing a lot of defining practical theology this afternoon.
Sure am.
She's a hypocrite. Okay,
Sure am.
all right,
Sure
All right, we're dredged.
we're dredged. Leah?
Leah doesn't even have sauce on her plate.
Yo, I'm real struggling on this. Was, you already put it on my
I
plate
put
though.
it on
But
that.
you then got rid of that plate because you could
It's
still
that
smell the
one.
bomb. Is it that
Am
one?
am I the
It is
figure
that
this time?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I lost
Please
track.
don't make me do the bomb again, because
No,
I
it's that,
might
it's
die.
that one. This one's
Okay.
5 times the strength of the bomb.
Why? 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 Don't look at me like that.
I'm actually really confused
I just wanna die.
because that one is not nearly as painful as the
No,
bomb.
no, you do this.
It's
You-
not.
We did this last
This
year.
is
This is.
how it
gonna-
works.
You're dead.
After the bomb,
And so.
I think it kills, I think it
Sure.
kills every taste bud.
can you,
There is
can
no
you
worse-
taste the
worse than-
lemon?
Story, we
I
died.
mean, a little, but like, it, honestly, I think the bomb just literally kills every taste bud of every sweet, savory, sour.
I would invite someone who's not
Dawn.
eaten all of the other sauces to try this one, please, and tell me if it actually is hot, because I cannot taste it.
Yeah. It just tastes like, eh.
Yeah?
Like right now?
I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can-
tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Samantha. I'm from Northern Virginia.
Woohoo!
Get on camera.
Which one is? Oh, you gave it. Okay.
I'll tell your wife goodbye.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I mean, it's hot. I can feel it.
But it's not like,
It doesn't feel like cartoon hot like that.
Right.
one seems to be.
It's cartoon hot.
I don't know
I
what,
don't, thank you, thank you,
it's right here.
Samantha?
Samantha.
No, that's good. I would eat.
I think
This
that,
happened last year.
I feel a little.
I
bit
think it's,
better.
I think
It
it's
still
gross and it
hurts. It
hurts.
still hurts.
Everything
What's our
hurts.
question?
What is our question? Are hurricanes naturally evil?
Yeah.
Florida?
I just evacuated from 2 of them. 2 of them. 2 of them. I feel like.
And I'm living in North Carolina,
Um,
so this is the question.
well, I feel like natural. Natural evil.
Oh, no. Just going. Don't go. Don't go. We have a corner.
Like,
naturally is in like an interventionist God naturally?
there's, there's like.
Okay, yeah, that does have some heat.
Well,
This one's sneaking up on you. It's
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
back.
It built.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
How's it going back there? Yeah.
It built.
It's coming back.
Still there.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Try it again.
But I'm
Now you're,
passed out.
now you're past the bomb. Do it again.
You what?
I said, do it again. Now you've got the
Do it
bomb
again.
off your taste buds. Yeah, that's
it
what I
again.
did.
The bomb's not gone. It's like.
I don't have
Oh,
to do it
yeah.
again.
Oh, no. Now that the bomb's gone, that's real hot.
Right.
I can't feel my tongue.
I told you. Natural evil
That's a hard question.
is a hard question. I don't think that hurricanes are a natural evil. I think that hurricanes are a natural part of the world. And that a lot of natural forces happen, but I do think that we have ruined everything.
Specifically led by a group of secret chili concoctors in Costa Rica.
Yeah, I know.
And we have made them batter.
We have PhD. Oh, no.
I have a
Oh, God.
PhD.
Sorry.
I have a
Everything's
PhD.
happening.
We have made obviously climate change is real. And we've made things worse. And also I think that we have forgotten how to build for the indigenous climate.
Yeah.
And not Western buildings weren't
Yeah.
supposed to be in certain places in the world. And so we're not like hurricanes in and of themselves are not evil, but we can't cope with them anymore.
I
And
will
that's
say,
it.
I talked to someone too, who is from North Carolina, and I can't talk. I will say that people are really coming together. Anybody from NC in here? Yeah. Um, for Western North Carolina. Now, the feeling is that, and this is nothing with conspiracy theories or anything, it's just that like, people feel like, especially I grew up in Appalachia, and this is like, no one will take care of us except our own people. And so, well, it is evil and I wish it never happened and it's destructive and it, whatever. I will say it does bring out, when it's not bringing out the worst in people, it's bringing out a lot of good in people too. And like, I'm very aware, I've seen all the stuff, like the FEMA stuff and all that, but I will say like, as soon as the hurricane hit and we saw what it was doing to people in those places, like I've never seen people organize so quickly to help. And, you know, we care about those communities. And so while, you know, hurricanes, I think are something that, as Christy said, I don't think they're a God-given thing. I think they're something that is a natural part of the world that we're making worse. I think our responses can be less than evil. How we respond to things. And we can remember a lot from theology and from the scriptures in how we respond. And some of the stuff we're seeing right now is evil, I would say. And it's terrible. Evil's a tough word, but it's bad. And I like bad better than evil. But that's my view, is that I think it can really bring about a lot of, you saw it in Katrina, is like people are like, New Orleans Strong, like everyone's wearing. I actually have bought so much NC Strong stuff that goes to them, and you know, I think it can bring about a lot of servanthood in people.
I think I like, because I'm from Colorado and I feel like
Did y'all know that
What?
she's from Colorado?
wildfires are a good example of this, because like fire can be cleansing. But we let stuff overgrow, and then wildfires become destructive because we haven't properly lived within the world. And this has to do with environmentalism and being ethical about the ecology of the world. And so you have like controlled fires to try to stop. So the fire itself isn't evil, but we aren't coping. Again, I can't.
Well, should we do the last one?
I'm about to say,
Yep. Okay.
And then
How's
we have
your
one
coping
last-
going?
One last question.
I'm not coping.
all right,
I think also because we don't believe in this sort of interventionist sort of like, but then you have to argue with like deism, or do you believe in a deist God? Like what role does God actually have in these things?
I actually
And
do.
that actually
I
gets
want to
pretty-
clarify. I do believe in an interventionist God.
Okay.
I just don't think that it is a
Natural disaster one?
like everything that happens is always something God intervenes. So like,
Person.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a Calvinist.
Your dad would be very disappointed.
So-
Don't tell Papa Whaley.
so you've come this far. Now it's time for the last dab experience. Featuring the official world's hottest chili, the last dab experience is our most potent last dab yet,
No.
with over 91% of this recipe being pepper X. it comes in at 2,693,000 scovilles. For those of you keeping track at home, that's 2 million scovilles hotter than the last one, which was 500,000 hotter than the previous one.
Question, is it weird that I can't hear out of my left ear?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's weird anymore.
It's weird. I
Ugh,
would say it.
all right,
Whose pick is it?
they're gonna, because they're stupid.
I like you too, but we gotta. If you're gonna go hard, go hard. I grew up,
Go big or go home, all
I grew
right.
up very sporty. I don't have any off mode.
Needs to be a softball question.
This is
Why?
Myron!
Myron
Strikes
again.
You know Myron. Is
Myron's
somebody
right
I know
here.
Myron.
Shout out to Myron Penner, who does some great work.
We've already answered this.
Science
Yeah.
shit.
So
But he always-
that question was, why does Bart suck so much?
Asking for-
Asking for a friend.
Myron always trolls us. about
Myron
Bart.
and his hatred for Bart never ends. All right.
Myron and
Nor should.
Well, I'm not taking another question.
Yeah, pick
but
another
we're
question.
at least dabbing the last dab here.
So long.
Good. Wow, that's beautifully handwritten.
I do like the handwriting. Have you ever
Somebody here
been
has
given a clear call by God?
Mm.
What advice do you have for?
Softball question.
Yeah,
No, not
that's
at all.
easy.
What advice do you have for somebody who hasn't had one? If that's something that can be expected in a traditional sense or not? Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
All right.
Stuart, are you okay?
I'm getting there.
We checked in a lot more with you last time, Stuart.
I just heard a cough and was a little concerned about a cough.
Barfed.
Oh, no, that's just me on beer 5.
Let me be.
You're on beer 5.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Are we ready?
smelled-
Well, I started this time we started, so.
I don't wanna. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all.
I don't like it.
Nope.
I don't like it.
Oh my God. I'm sorry that my reaction is violent. I can't help it.
Get out through your mouth, because that's terrible.
That's
Ugh. Don't breathe in through your nose.
You're not supposed to touch your eyes, that's why I keep putting my hand in. Oh no. Oh, no.
That's real bad.
That's really bad.
That's the mouth sweat's bad.
That's bad.
Not gonna feel my lips for a few days.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's like right there.
Tom, medical training.
Nor do I.
We just know how to help you into the next life. That's it.
Lay down on this floor.
At this rate, the next life will be sooner than we hope.
I don't even think I'm doing that right. Oh my God.
Did I feel a call from God to do this Hot Ones challenge?
Oh, God.
I love you so much, bestie.
Um,
Why is it stuck in my throat? It's not going down.
It doesn't, it just stays. Movement. Oh, yeah.
Is that not what the spasms are?
Have you ever
Um,
been given a clear call by God?
I am gonna say that yes, I have, but it wasn't like the way you think it is. And it was because I met people who encouraged me in the correct ways. And I think that God shows up to you like in a lot of different ways, but often through people. And you know who those people aren't?
I love you so much.
And so like at low points or when I was struggling or when I didn't know what I was doing with my life, to have like certain people show up and tell me either that they believed in me or that,
I'm with
you know, they felt like
She's
I
gonna
had
say
certain-
Sunday school words.
It's good.
strengths, that was a good call from God because I felt like I was getting that support.
Too bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
You made it.
And then
Oh, go
I
ahead.
swallowed.
Oh, sorry.
And it-
Oh, so I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, which some of you who read my stuff will know or hear me talk. So I did get a call by God to be a minister, and it was very clear. I mean, it wasn't like a, hey, Leah, what's up? Like, but it was like very clear that's what I was gonna do. Went to the minister in charge, and he was like, sorry, hon, I can't do that. And that was real tough. I've written about that a bunch. I talked about it a lot. But I think one of the things about a call is that it's something that nags at you, it doesn't let go. And it's like this hot sauce.
Object, listen.
Like, really, I was gonna go in the medical field for a while, and like we're certainly everyone you meet here at beer camp certainly has the capacity to do like these things. Like we could have. My mom was a nurse. I think it's great. Like she makes infinitely more money than I'll ever make in my life, and has a great career. And it's like I could have done that. But I think a call is something that just sort of pokes at you, and it's in the back of your mind. I'm trying, guys. If you could just keep it down.
No, you're doing a great job.
If
We
you could
support you.
If you could keep it down.
I
okay.
can't.
And I think it's something that if you feel something that just doesn't hey, that doesn't let you go, like I think that's a call. And for someone who hasn't had one, I would say that's okay. Like I've had students who've been in my theology courses that have been 21 and 71. And I think that's the thing is that if you've not felt that, and then that's fine. And don't go into it. I will say either ministry, teaching, academia, theology, whatever. If you don't feel like you've had that call, because it's a rough road, and not just right now.
Also,
It's a long road. It's a tough road, and you're not always going to get properly compensated or even properly acknowledged for it. Like I've written 4 books. I'll walk these halls, and people probably won't know who I'm in, and I'm totally okay with that. Like that's fine. I don't really care actually, but I think it's one of those things that if you want like an ego thing or even make a lot of money, then it's probably not the work
also
for you.
calls can be anything.
They can
And
be.
like
They
if
can be
you really
service.
love, like if you really love working at a local coffee shop, that's a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my good friends owns a coffee shop, and that's his call.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
So don't like. It can be anything. What it could be is
It'll make your life
it
easier.
could be
I think, in a
destroying
way.
these.
I mean, not easier.
Destroying all of these.
Destroying these
Maybe-
bottles. Could
Like
be.
imagine the guy who this is his calling. What is his name? Sean Evans.
Sean Evans.
I have a
God
problem.
bless him.
I have
Sean
beef with
Evans
him.
does this every week. This is his calling.
I would add one of the things that I have really appreciated about process theology and Wesleyan theology on the whole, and how it is really attentive to sanctification as an ongoing and slow process of listening for and responding to and living with the Spirit of God in your life is it doesn't negate or undermine or belittle the burning bush calls, right?
Yeah.
Instead, it recognizes that God also has a still small voice. It recognizes, especially in a process tradition, how God is taking stock of and incorporating and paying attention to every event in the cosmos and calling forth, identifying within those events the beautiful, the peaceful, the good, the zesty, the adventurous, and calling that forth.
Oh, you dropped that word.
It's in Whitehead. That's why he dropped it so much. And God calling that forth in each moment is not always a call to grandiosity. It's literally a call to be more peaceable next time.
Yeah.
It's a call to be more loving next time. Like one of my favorite professors and a dear mentor of mine in liturgical studies and sacramental theology.
Stop
Yeah.
that.
He routinely talks about worship service. The worship service on Sunday morning is practice. right? The liturgy, literally the liturgia, the work of the people, is practice. It is shaping us and it is habituating us to practice the community, the peaceableness, the love, the celebration, the eating together, the offering together, and the receiving together, so that we then go do it again, right? And if we mess it up, right? Like, how many of you come from like higher liturgical traditions? I don't know if any of you come from like higher liturgical traditions, but you have folks who, oh God, I was good to go, and then it hit like right there.
Talking
No.
about the higher tradition,
No.
like the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit
Oh.
took right on
The
over.
Holy Spirit came upon Tom.
Yeah, there's the call.
The call is not to eat.
So where I was going with that was sometimes in like really high rubric traditions where like you always read all 4 scripture passages, you always kneel at particular times, you always stand at particular times. If you're new to a space and you mess it up, you're a failure,
Yeah.
right? No, that's fundamentally incorrect.
Yeah.
Like a process understanding of God, and you don't even have to be a processy person, like a Wesleyan understanding of God as this sanctifying grace into which you live in each new moment, that is a perfecting grace, not a static end. You mess it up, that's fine.
And I think
Do it again.
I was gonna say,
Practice
if
again.
you do something and you feel, and we all know that feeling, and I would say this is a call, and I'm very low church, but you've all done something that you don't normally do, where something hit you and you were like, you know what, actually, I love this.
Yeah.
And I've not done it before, or maybe I have, but in this moment, I love it.
So
Take that on board as like a call, like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna necessarily be like, it doesn't have to be education, or I was going the academic route, but like, I remember one time I took photos. I'm not an artistic person, but I did this photo show and everyone was like, these are great. And I was like, I love this.
and this is, I think.
It can be anything, you know?
This
And it
is-
can change.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
this is, I think, from my own call story, you know, in ordination processes, you write this out so many times,
Oh my
right?
gosh, yeah. You do.
In my own call story, like
There's none
the discernment that
Unless you
happened,
have sauces.
the discernment that happened was because I was at camp, because good Methodist kid, right? Go to camp. I was at camp and I was a liturgist in a remembering your baptism service. And so someone had come forward and we had chalices, and you dip your thumb in and you make the sign of the cross on someone's forehead.
Ooh.
And you tell them, remember your baptism and keep it holy, right? And then you then hand them the chalice. They then do it to the person behind them. So someone had done it to me. I received the chalice. I turned and I was 17. And the person I turned to had been my counselor when I was 9. And he's much taller than me still. And I remember looking up and dipping my thumb in the chalice, making the sign of the cross, and telling him, Josh, remember your baptism and keep it holy. And as he took the chalice from my hand, he leaned in and he said, this is you. There's joy in your eyes when you do this. My call in that moment was a call to ordained ministry, that I didn't figure out what the hell there's joy in your eyes when you do this meant, right? So that's what I mean when I say like you're called to the next moment. You're not necessarily called to the grandiose. In this lure of God, this call into more love, into more peace, into more adventure, into more holiness. It's a challenge for your discernment to recognize what gives you the joy of loving more, and how can you live more deeply into that? What gives you the joy of being more peaceable? And if that is traditional ordained ministry, if that's traditional prophetic ministry or traditional teaching ministry, great. Find a community who can uphold that and who can affirm that and who can really support you in that. If it's being the best chef on the block, go
Preach
feed
that.
people,
Come on.
please. Like if it's being a manager, in a mid-level manager in a corporate structure that is designed to dehumanize people the lower they are on a ladder, go be the most humanizing person you can be in that office. right? Like, this is the beauty, I think, of thinking of call, not necessarily in scales falling from your eyes, lightning lays. But instead, this Holy Spirit who's not gonna leave us, right?
We can't all be Paul.
We can't, thank God we can't. I don't wanna do
I
that.
don't want
We didn't
people-
have a single Paul question, but y'all.
No.
We did,
Yep.
we did. He would lose in a cage.
Lost it life.
Categorically, he would lose in a cage
Everyone.
match.
Consider Paul would win in the cage. match.
No, in fact, eliminate him
We
from the
eliminate him.
question.
Hey, guys, we finished the challenge.
We finished the challenge.
Wait, I have one last challenge
Thank
for
you so
you.
much for coming with us on this journey.
Yep.
Thank you, Tom, so much
Thank you
for
for
being
joining us.
here.
For still being our friend.
Thank
Oh,
you
it's back. Why did it come back?
because you
I-
talked a lot.
I've got a challenge for you,
Okay,
if you're willing to accept it.
Yeah.
this is my husband, Stuart. Okay, what?
The challenge for
What-
us.
What is it? I don't know if I'm gonna accept this. We can-
So if you've watched the show, the last dab is a little different to the rest. Y'all have done it the same as the rest. So I'm gonna suggest
I know
one
what you're about.
one live audience question.
Okay.
Someone put their hand up, ask anything you want. We all take this,
He's taking over.
dip our finger, and just have straight hot sauce, and then you answer the question.
All right. Why did you do that so, like,
Okay,
all right,
who has a
all
question?
right.
Do we want to pick out of the box or does someone?
No,
else
it's a
have it?
live
But
audience
it's a live-
No, I think we should do live.
I just.
All
I
right.
understand English. I just didn't know if that was what we were gonna do.
All right, Leah.
Oh, no, there.
You did it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do both, actually. Tell us both. What are your questions?
Do we do this
You do it right before you answer.
right before we answer? Okay. Ask the question. Yeah.
What is your favorite tongue twister?
Oh, no.
I have a ball.
Oh,
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Yeah, that one. Peter Piper picked a peck of, Peter Piper picked a peck pickled peppers.
It's, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy
Had no hair.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Unique, unique
Unique
New York, unique New York, unique New
Oh,
York. How you doing
it's
over there?
gross.
I'm okay, but I don't know any tongue twisters. What's your favorite one? Can I try yours?
Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter.
Betty
bought
Butter bought some butter,
But she
thought
said the butter's bitter.
better.
Betty
Butter
Butter bought some butter, but she said the
butter's better. Wow.
seashells by the seashore.
Oh yeah, Susie sells seashells by the seashore. How many seashells does
I
she
don't know.
sell?
I don't know.
Tell us to get back.
This is gross. All right. All right.
Thank you so much for coming.
Enjoy the rest of beer camp.
And if you want to try any, please do.
Yeah.
Come,
We
seriously.
have nuggets, we have sauces. I'm gonna lay on this ground.
The buffalo sauce, genuinely delicious. The bourbon sauce, genuinely delicious.
The smoky number